Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm TV YouTube for another ManDem United podcast, the podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United. So please keep all your comments, all your questions, Manchester United related, please. Brighton away next. Can United turn around their poor away form versus top sides? We will be discussing that plus more. I'm pretty sure it is the Tuesday edition of the show as well. So, Mr. Ivorian Spice, Red United TV, you know what I'm saying? Who be live on the YouTube, live on the Instagram, as well is in the building. Yes, Ivorian, what are you telling me? You good?
Man, I'm good, man. You know what? Yeah, it's been a mixed week for a Manchester United fan, but at the end of the day, it was
Yeah.
nice, sweet end at the start, midway through. Because why? Why? Flawless. You know that tree trunk that I've been talking about? It's finally broken, bro. The elephant that was sitting on top of the tree trunk, enjoying life, twerking on the tree trunk and everything, doing backflips and all that kind of stuff throughout the whole season. Finally, that branch has broken down. It was lovely to see Arsenal bleed to death, bro, against Man City, bro. Even though you don't like to see that, and you probably prefer Arsenal to win the league, it was beautiful to see
I'm,
because
I'm,
Arsenal
I'm
fans are
neither.
now
Just putting
quite.
it out there, but carry on, carry on.
Oh, you're like Fergie when they asked Fergie that question, who do you want to win, City or Arsenal? Don't care.
Yeah,
You
don't
get
care.
me? That
Legit.
was Ferguson's
Don't
answer.
care. Right.
Not, no. Let me
Facts.
even say don't care. Not interested. That's what he said.
Yeah,
Not
facts. Not
interested.
interested. Yeah,
Yes.
100%. But go on, carry on, fam. Carry
But
on,
it's been
carry on.
lovely, man. A good result towards the end of the week, to
Yes.
toast as the start of our bank holiday weekend. But midweek, of course, against Spurs, we was Spurs they like. You get me? But it is what it is, man. But I'm good, man. What are you saying, my bro? How are
All
you?
blessed, all blessed. Looking forward to the show as always. Always enjoy the ManDem United podcast, in particular the Tuesday editions as well. But let's bump up the likes, please, people. We're almost in double figures, so hit that like button whether you're watching live right now or watching this back afterwards. Make sure you share this across all of the socials as well. Follow Sarcasm City TV everywhere. It's at Sarcasm City TV, and on top of those two things, subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV. And when you subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell as well, people. Make sure you do that. Let's see what you lot are saying in the chat as well. Big up Stephanie G, who says big up Flawless. It's actually Ivorian, and it's not Eddie. Eddie's on the Friday edition, but big up to my guy Eddie every single time. Clean sheet. Please tick all the boxes, means we don't lose if we don't score. Come on, United, 3 more points. Let's get to 72 ASAP. Yeah, because we are 3 wins away. If we win 3 of our remaining 6 games, so half of them, we are guaranteed to finish in the top 4. Big up Dortmund David says big up Flawless. All right, streams. David, I don't know how you found us, but big up to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Much appreciated. Always good to see fans of other clubs in here, especially outside of England as well. Warrior J says big up Flawless. Big up to you, big up Flawless, and everyone here says United for life. Big up to Malcolm. Play simple. Emma saying it's always nice to see rivals suffer. Absolute goddamn lootly. It really is. It really is. But there is only one place to start. Like I said, it stems from the title. Everyone knows about Manchester United's poor away record against the top sides. So let me ask you, Ivorian.
Yes.
Can,
Bro.
can we turn it around against Brighton? Can we go to Brighton and get a win?
Brighton, Munich, Brighton and them man's there. Bro.
Massive Brighton. Shout out to Brighton and Fulham and them, man. You know what I'm saying?
I think this game right here, Flawless, this game right here is one of our biggest away game of the season.
Talk about
I'm
it.
not particularly confident going into Brighton. We've been tucked in a couple of times.
Yeah, facts.
Which
We
is
have
facts.
been tucked in a couple of times. Yeah.
Like it's states, man. It's facts right there. And the funny thing is that we're playing against Brighton, who has been sensational throughout the whole entire season, but we're also playing against a Brighton that's going to be vengeful. Vengeful against Manchester United for that penalty shootouts in the FA Cup semi-final. Just like the way Newcastle was pissed off when they lost the Carabao Cup final, and they said, you know what? Yeah, don't worry, man. We're going to catch you outside. Don't worry. When you come to our turf, innit, we're going to show you exactly, innit. And we went down to their turf, and they showed us while going in it. And Brighton, this time, I am not confident, bro. I'm nervous. I'm hoping we can go out there and get a draw and not get embarrassed, because it's record. The records are there. our last 6 or 7 away games, we've lost about 6 and probably drew 1, and it hasn't been great. That's one thing that Eric Ten Hag needs to improve and step up on his away record, away from home, the way he sets up his team, because sometimes he goes there a bit too brave and goes all out for the win, and then we eventually just flop and capitulate within 20 to 30 minutes of that game. But Flawless, I don't see Manchester United winning that game. This is one game I will respectfully just know that I'm going to take an L and just keep it moving for the next game on Sunday, what I'm saying? Because Brighton, tough game. We better be lucky we better be hopeful that they're not at their best on that day and not feeling vengeful for their defeat in the semi-finals of the FA Cup at Wembley. We best hope that they're at the worst form. Maybe they've gotten some food poison the night before. Let's hope that, fingers crossed. You never know. But I'm not hopeful. I don't think Manchester United can win that game. It's just our form right now. And the amount of game I can add the amount of games that Manchester United have played so far. We've played, again, it's records. We've played the most games in Europe out of all the teams, and at times you see it's affecting the players. You saw the penalty shootouts affect Manchester United against Spurs in that second half. They looked lethargic and tired as well as the game went on, and it ended up with a 2-2 draw. It looked better against Aston Villa on the weekend, where the team looked a bit refreshed. But at the same time, you can see the team was tired because we only won 1-0, and in the second half we were struggling again, and we held out for that 1-0 win. But this time against Brighton, I don't know if we'll be able to hold out for a win. Most likely a draw if we're lucky. But let's just be hopeful. We are Manchester United. This is Manchester United. We all hope for a win, but I'm not confident. I don't know how you feel, Flawless.
Confident, but not very confident. But it's not. Yeah, it's Brighton are a very good side. Don't get him mistaken. Good side, I should say. Brighton are a good side with some good players. We literally just seen them packing Wolves 6-0. But then in midweek, not in midweek. Who did they lose to? Yeah, midweek they lost to Nottingham Forest. Yes, it was away from home. Yeah. But it's relegation battle in Nottingham Forest. So is it all doom and gloom? No. What I was just typing in there, I was getting the away table up. And for our away form being bad, which it is in particular against the top sides, I've said it's over exaggerated. Let me ask you, Ivorian, where do you think we are on the away form table? From 1 to 20, where would you say we are?
I would say our full probably sits like 9th or 10th.
Okay, this is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Me and Ivorian haven't spoken about this. You know where we are on the away table, fam? 5th.
It's not 5th. Bad,
It's nowhere near as bad. Is it good enough? People, don't get it mistaken. Is it good enough? No. Manchester United need to be higher than 5th in the away table. But the way people make out is like we are 9th, 10th, like Ivorian just said, or we're worse. All right, I hear you with another question. Bear in mind, people, am I confident going into this game? Yes. Am I very confident? No, I'm not silly. I know how we've played away from home, and I know how good a side Brighton are. Where do you think Brighton are in the home table?
That is...
Bear in mind, they've played one game less than most at home, and 2 games. They played 1 game less than some and 2 games less than some. So
add that into it as well. Away at home, I reckon at home they probably sit where I assume Man United will sit in the away records, probably either 8th, 9th, or 10th.
Okay, you're right. They're currently sat 9th, but they do have 2 games in hand on the teams around them, and they have 1 game in hand on some. So say if they beat us, they wouldn't jump from 9th, but they'd still have a game in hand on Brentford, Villa, and Spurs, who are all ahead of them. Bear in mind, Newcastle, Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, and City all ahead of them. So what I'm saying is our away form is nowhere near as bad as people make out. Our away form, in particular against the top sides, is very bad. That is without doubt, and that needs to be improved on. And you spoke on it in Ten Hag. He needs to be a little bit more. He needs to be a little bit more defensive away from home. And I'm hoping next season he is in that sense. However, one thing I do add to that is, let's say we had won 3 of these away games that we've been so poor in. That adds 9 points to our total. You know, 9 points puts us, people, 3 points behind Arsenal. That's what it is. Wait, let me have a look at this. Yes, it would take us 9 more points would take us to 72. We'd be 3 points behind Arsenal. We'd be 4 points off City. We would legit be in a title race. with a side we all know, Ivorian knows, I know, majority of Manchester United fans agree is not good enough. So that's why I'm like, if we can improve, if we can keep our home form the same, which I believe we can because I expect us to improve, and we can add to this team and get more points on the road, we can't, I'm not saying we win a league title. We can challenge for one, though. 110%, I believe we can challenge for one. But back to the Brighton game as well, it does have draw written all over it. Somebody said that in the chat. And I'm looking at it and it does have draw written. Can we go there and win? Yes. 110% we can go there and win. Am I very confident of it? No. Absolutely not. Like I said, they just beat Wolves 6. And you never know with Manchester United. I don't know what I'm going to get. I legit don't know what I'm going to get. Are we going to get, like I've stated before, are we going to get the Manchester United who played in the second half against Spurs, the Manchester United who played against Brighton, the Manchester United who played against Sevilla over both legs? Or are we going to get the Manchester United who played against Nottingham Forest, and the Manchester United who played against Brentford, and the Manchester United who played against Everton, and the Manchester United from the first half against Tottenham Hotspur? I don't know what we're going to get. And that's the biggest issue. We are consistently inconsistent. But hopefully we can go there and get a win. Because if we get a win, it just, like I said, then we're 2 wins away. And then we'd have, 5 games? Yeah, we're currently at 32. Then we'd be 5. We need 2 wins from 5 to secure top 4, which I believe, like I said, we will. Even if we lose against Brighton, I still fully expect us to finish in the top 4. I'm still expecting us to finish 3rd. If we don't finish 3rd, yeah, I'll be disappointed, but props to Newcastle. But Newcastle still have tough games to go as well. Let's see what you lot are saying. Hey, big up KLFC, big up. Love to see my Bajans in the building. Love to see the Bajan flag as well. Continue to get your questions in. It don't have to be on this game. We will touch on Harry Kane again. Obviously, the ManDem United podcast I did yesterday, I had to private people, because obviously you lot know he was there. My niece was running around, so I had to pause the video and all them things. But big up to all the haters who was in the chat during that video. People who have nothing positive to say but want to pipe up to complain about free content. Not any of you lot, because it's all the regulars and all the new people have been cool. I'm talking about the Egypts that got blocked yesterday. Big up to RJ as well. Don't worry, we will get into the whole takeover situation with the Glazers and Sheikh Jassim, and also Jim Radcliffe as well. RJ says, flawless and Ivorian, would you take Kolo Muani? Mbappe rates him highly too. Would you take him?
He's a good player. 40 appearances in all competition, 20 goals and 14 assists. You know, a striker with 20 goals and 14 assists, it just tells me he's a striker that's very productive. He likes to link up, likes to create opportunities for his teammates, not just score goals on his own. In terms of that profile, that sounds like an Eric Ten Hag striker, so someone that wants to be involved in the game, but still holds the line up front and still is a threat up front and is a target man as well. So that will be a good. And on top of that, he's quick, young as well. He's had a good career at Frankfurt so far. You know, he will be a good signing, but I wouldn't say he'll be the. No, I wouldn't say he's the number 1 signing. Our priority is either Kane or Noshman. We have to go for the best, and then the second option of the striker we are looking at. I would suggest Manchester look at is Tony, and you're looking at these players like him, like Mwani as well, and whoever else has been linked to Manchester United as a second option. You know, to not just to play backup fiddle, but to actually challenge for the number 1 position. Because I don't see Martial staying. I feel like he's going to get sold, but yeah. But Mwani, definitely, man. It's a good player, good talent, someone that we can nurture. You saw a bit of him in the World Cup when he came on and scored his only goal with 6 caps for France. But he looks decent. I also noticed him in the final of the Europa Conference League, which looked decent. He didn't get a goal, but he looked decent. But he's a good talent, you know. Yeah. I know. I mean, you probably haven't seen him, to be honest with you. I reckon you haven't, innit? You don't know much.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, I've not seen, to answer RJ, to answer your question, I've not watched Kolo Muani like that. I've legit only seen him in the World Cup. So it'd be very unfair of me to give an assessment on him and say whether he's good enough or whether he's not. I've not even seen him enough to know what type of striker he is. I can't even say what his profile is to even speak on that. So yeah, I can't really answer that, RJ. Big up to Dan Levitt every single time. Large up, you already know. Let me get to this as well. To Kevin, who says, Kevin Marshall says, bro, you attract what you speak. Words are a spell. Careful how you talk, because you can create it. Not hope, believe United can do it. Law of attraction. That's all well and good, but football don't work like that. In your life, I agree with this 100%. I'm fully in agreement. Your thoughts become things. And yes, the energy you put out comes back to you. That's why I always try and put out good energy, like 110%. However, football doesn't work like that. Because if that was the case, United would win the quadruple every year and all our rivals would be relegated and in League Two. So it doesn't work like that, Kevin. Unfortunately, I wish it did. I wish I had the power to do that, but no, it's not a law of attraction. Just look at the team. Like I've been saying all season, look at the team. When people talk about you're in a title race, look at the team. I wanted to be proven wrong. That's what it is. 110%. Big up to Noro says United might need to get another experienced left wide player in the summer since Sancho wants to leave. Source on this, Noro. I didn't butcher your name. I hope I pronounced that right. But where did you see Sancho wants to leave? I need a source on that. But even if let's say this is true, we have Rashford, we have Garnacho over that side. I'm calm with those two players for every position. I have no qualms going out playing out there. If Martial stays, he can also play wide left as well. So I have zero issue with that. Zero. But yeah, please, if anyone knows the source about Sancho leaving, we will discuss that. We will get onto Harry Kane as well. Don't worry about that. This is RJ. This is from @Jacobs Ben. Says 9-2 Foundation will await feedback first, but sources indicate they haven't ruled out going direct to the Glazers to strike a deal. This would mean two things: removing intermediaries on their side and either meeting Glazers via rain or either by passing them. Yeah, this whole ownership. That's why I've not spoken on it, because it's all everybody guessing. That's what I've said for the longest. Everybody is guessing. It is a joke. To Matthew says, don't you think this takeover is becoming more of a farce, and the longer it takes, it's going to affect our transfer window? I don't think it's becoming a farce. I think the people talking about it and the media surrounding it, they're making it a farce. Why do you think I've never spoken on this until I've been asked about it? This is why I've never titled a video speaking about it, because like I've stated before, one, I think most people don't know what's going on at 110%. And number two, these things take time. This ain't going to the Tesco and buying a meal deal. This is not a simple business interaction. You're buying Manchester United Football Club for what would be, if it is Sheikh Jassim, a world record fee. There's so many intricacies and so much detail that goes into takeover of this magnitude. Like I said, you are buying Manchester United Football Club, people. Like I stated, this is not Tesco meal deal. You're not approaching me to buy Sarcasm City TV. Like this, you're not approaching Ivorian to buy Red United TV or buy my Twitter account or Ivorian's Instagram account. This is not a simple business transaction, people. There is so much that goes into this. We've seen how long the Newcastle bid took. We've seen how long the Manchester City bid took. There's been many rumors prior to this about Manchester United being taken over, and it's never been transpired. Why have I sat here and said, one, I don't know, and also said, two, let's wait and see? This is why, like certain Liverpool fans, shout out to Don Hassam, who was on Battle of the North in the whole Arab attire. You know what I'm saying? He was in the whole attire. I've already said, because he thought Liverpool were going to get taken over. Shout out to Don Hassam every single time. But that's what I've got the attire, people. I'm legit waiting to wear it. 110%. I will be in stream the whole week in the attire if we get taken over by Sheikh Jassim. Swear down. You lot can hold me to that. The entire week, I will be in the whole shebang. Go on, fam.
Smoking shisha and drinking your Arab tea, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know about the shisha part. Maybe the tea. I don't know about that, about the shisha part, but maybe the tea. I will be in the whole, I'm going to say the whole attire, people. I've got the gown. You know what I'm saying? It's a great thing. I got the whole long, I don't know the actual correct term, but I got the long gown. I've got the head wrap, the red and right head wrap. I've got the black thing you put around it. I got the whole shebang, people, from when I went to Dubai. And if we get taken over, I will be sat here that entire week in the attire. Guaranteed. I will also be outside Old Trafford celebrating. 100%. I will be celebrating without doubt. Before I continue, though, there's over 50 of you lot in the building. We're only at 20 likes. Let's bump that up to 40 likes, people. Like check 1212. Let's double up them likes, and subscriber check as well. Let's not slack on the subscriber check. We are currently at, I'm just refreshing the screen right now as I speak. We're currently at 6,361. We're looking for 4 more subscribers, people. We're looking for 4 more subscribers, people. So 6,361. 4 more subscribers. That's all we're looking for. So hit the subscribe button. There's over 50 of you lot in the building. What are you saying about it, though, Ivorian? How are you? What's your current thoughts on the bidding war. Yeah, it's a bidding war that's going on with Manchester United. Yeah,
absolutely. It is a bidding war. Like it's been going on for too long, which is understandable. Like I said before, you are buying Manchester United, which is one of the biggest clubs, sporting brand in world football as well. And it's going to take some time, and I understand. But my question: did it need to get into a third round bid? And what are the Glazers really playing at? Like, I'm Qatari regardless. Everyone knows that I want Qatar because we've seen Sir Richard Ratcliffe, Mr. Rat himself, the Ratcliffe himself, making up all these efforts of trying to buy Manchester United. But the funny thing about the whole situation is that not once did this guy ever say that he was going to improve the facilities, the stadium, the women's team, and also the academy and the men's team and the training ground. Not once did he ever mention that. He was interested in was it a majority stake or a majority stake of what? Buying out 70% of their shares that are owned by Glazers. And then last week you're hearing it's 50%. Yeah, and this is the same guy that campaigned a year or 2 years ago with his body saying that they want to buy Manchester United. They approached the Glazers. Manchester United can improve. They just need an owner that's got the right backing, X, Y, and Z. But look at him. He's willing to swim and sleep with the devil himself, the Glazers, from the news that we've heard. According to that, whether he is interested in 50% or 70% and giving the Glazers 30 or 20%, it's not good enough. And it just tells me exactly who he is. Because this guy is not safe. Where's he getting the money from? He's getting a loan. Think about that, guys. And the funny thing is that the narrative of the media was always pushed to and swing into the fact that Manchester United fans want Jimmy Cliff. He's a rat. No, he's a rat. And it's never been that case. No Manchester United fan has ever come out and said, "Oh, we want Ratcliffe because he's a Mancunian, or he's a Manchester United supporter. He grew up down the road and all that kind of stuff." We already know those who support your club, sometimes they're not good for you. We had Ollie. He loved the club. It was never good for us. Even sometimes Fergie's decision makings of asking to hire Moyes, he loved the club. That decision wasn't good for us. Right. Do you know what I'm saying? Even when he recommended Ollie as a caretaker, that was Fergie again. And when Ollie was about to get sacked, he came out to defend Ollie again and told the players to respect him. Sometimes it's just those who have love for your club it's not good for you. Even though they have the best interest, they are not good for you. And again, I'm with Qatar right now. The whole bidding has gone for so long, and it will go on for a bit longer. And if the Qataris can have a direct approach to the Glazers, because you're at that stage right now, Flawless, where the third bid has come in. Surely you want to tell them, okay, we need to speak to them directly now. So, because shit just got real. They're close to our evaluation. Let's sit down with the Qataris or Ratcliffe and thrash out a deal and negotiate. It's the third bid. You don't need to be having Ryanair, a third party or a middleman interacting anymore. You've gone past that now. I know it. Again, I say this. It takes time to buy a club like Manchester United. It may take 2 to 3 months, but come on, guys, man. You've met the valuation of the club. You've gone past the valuation of the club. The club is probably valued to 2 to 3 billion pounds. You've already made £1 billion each as profit, and you can spread out across all 5 members if you sell it for 5 billion. Just cash out and get out, man. You saw it on Sunday. Big up to everyone that went to protest and made themselves heard as well. Because it just shows signs that we don't want a minority stake ownership or majority sell. We want full sell and only full sell. We want you, man, to get the hell out of here, bro. Like, I don't understand. I've never been in a work environment that I know that whenever I walk in, nobody likes me. Like, as soon as I walk in, everyone just stops talking. I don't know how I can work there for 17 years. Like, I know they don't come there, but I can never be in a job like that. That's bad for your mental health.
Facts.
Eventually, you get the message like, raw, like, I need to cut. But these men just don't listen. They don't cut. They don't give a shit. They got thick skins, I don't know how they go through that in life. If you need life mentors, how to get through shit, and when people don't like you, get yourself a Glazer. They'll tell you how to go around it. Because, boy...
Just straight undignified. That's what it is, man. Yeah. That's just straight undignified. Like, to be our place and not want what's best for it and just to line your pockets. It's absolutely outrageous. It's absolutely, and that's why they receive the verbal abuse they do, which is 110%. It is 110% right. But so yeah, man, F the Glazers, they're crooks. Been saying it for the longest. Let's see what else you lot are saying in the chat as well. To user 007 says the Qatari bid messes with the morals. Whose morals? Elaborate on that, please. Please do so. Paul says,
No. I was trying to say what morals, because at the end of the day, Sir Jimmy
that's what I'm
Ratcliffe,
gonna
who
let
owns
man
an energy company, who pollutes the air. If you guys are environmentally friendly, man's destroying the whole air. Well, you know what happens when you pollute the air? It destroys everything, the environment that's around it. It probably leads into the water that we drink. And I heard exactly so that there was a particular moment where the redundancy was made. And do you know what you do when you make people redundant? You destroy their lives, you kill their lives and all that stuff. Some people don't want to leave. Don't act like this man is clean because he's a billionaire. And to be rich, you gotta cross some people over. You gotta do some dirt. Nobody's morally clean in this world, man. Even in this country, the government's not morally clean. Like, I'll tell you now, like, if then nobody is morally clean. Anyone in this society, you look at our own government and you look at the country, England, you look at the history itself. If you reside in England, there's no morality about England, you know. You can't explain, for example, slavery. That's immoral. Racism, immoral, bro.
Facts. That's why I don't hear
It's
about
facts.
any about
Nobody's
a
clean.
moral standpoint. Yeah, agreed. And just on top of that, with Jim Radcliffe, he wants what's best for Manchester United. Why do you want the Glazers to stay? Because it's not about Manchester United, people. We all know the Glazers are crooks. So if you're a fan of Manchester United, or you don't even have to be a fan. If you want to take over Manchester United Football Club and you want what's best for Manchester United Football Club, why would you want the Glazers involved in any way, shape, or form when you've seen what they've done over a number of years? You've seen how the stadium looks. You've seen how the facility looks. You've seen how Manchester United have not been successful and haven't won a major trophy in over a decade. Why would you want them to stay? That tells you what you need to know about Jim Radcliffe. It tells you all you need to know. And even before that, I knew that the Sheikh Jassim bid was better because Emma mentioned it here. Let me get to this. Hold up. Where was the comment? Where is it? Yeah, just from their bid statements, it makes me want Jassim more, as it sounded like what should be done without the Glazers. Facts. He was talking about a full takeover. He was talking about wanting what's best for Manchester United Football Club on the football pitch. And that's what I want in charge. I don't care where you're from. You know what I'm saying? I have two things I care about. One, do you have the football club's best interests at heart? And number two, do you have the funds to do that? They're the two things I care about. Other than that, I'm not fussed where you're from. I don't care about your race. I don't care about your religion. I don't care about any of that type of thing. Do you want what's best for the football club and do you have the funds to do so? That's it. And Sheikh Jassim, it seems, has that. Jim Radcliffe, I was against anyway. I'm even more against because he wants the Glazers. He's willing to let the Glazers stay. He's willing to have them involved. Makes no sense. Yeah, go on, fam.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Like I said before, there is nothing. Morals have been thrown out the window a long time ago across all the worlds, man. I keep saying this before. You look at every single countries, there's corruption and etc. So when you talk about morality, there's no point. You know, there is no point at all. Like people. And then we're here. We're supporting the Qataris because why? They want the best for Manchester United. I'm not asking them how many people have you killed in your country to get that money. You know, as a fan, I just want what's best for my club. You know, and that's having the best owners. Throw morals out the way because you look at what happened with the BBC with the whole sports media crap. Yeah. And not showing the opening ceremony. That was morally wrong. There's millions of people who pay taxpayers' money to watch an opening ceremony of the World Cup, which is every 4 years, and the biggest sporting event. And you took it up to talk about what they do down there. What about what we do down here? We don't highlight that. That was immorally wrong for you to not show that. Millions of taxpayers' money that's been taken that goes towards the BBC, especially TV license, didn't get to see the opening ceremony. Till this day, I don't know what it was. I don't even know who sang. I don't even know the theme song for the World Cup 2022 that just went past in Qatar. I actually don't know. The only time I heard a World Cup song was that Guy I Show Speed, and I don't even think that's the official World Cup song. So, yeah, man, morality, throw that out the window, bro. Because you're the same man that will watch a boxing match, watch two men knock each other out. Is that morally right? That's morally wrong. No, so you get me. It's how you value morals. Also, at the end of the day,
Facts.
see what I'm saying?
You right.
You
A big
watch
up
a man get robbed and do nothing and take your phone out and record it. You people will watch someone dying, like rest in peace, PNB Rock, on the floor, record it. Was that morally right? But people want to talk about morals. Morals has been thrown out the window a long time ago, bro. So
you
yeah,
right.
it's part of life.
A big up to Star Lord, says big up everyone, first day on my new job. Congrats, man. And I hope it went well and you enjoyed your first day on the job and everything, Star Lord. Large up every single time. Big up to Manj as well. You lot continue to get your questions in as well. And user 007 says the Qataris use slave labor to build stadiums and they have more money than God. That's the moral dilemma. 8,000 dead workers, bro. All right, let me just kill this dead. Was that Sheikh Jassim? Why is one man? Bear in mind, it's not a Qatari takeover, people. Sheikh Jassim is from Qatar. Was Sheikh Jassim involved? You let me know, user 007. Was Sheikh Jassim involved? Why is one man being used for what a whole country has done because he's from that country? Because user 007, I don't know where you're from, but whatever country you're from, I guarantee there's somebody who's done something that is morally incorrect. But if I use that against you, you wouldn't like it. Same way, I'm from England. So if someone from England does something morally incorrect, which we've seen done in the past, should I be blamed for that? Should Ivorian? Should he be blamed for that? Or if you want to go back further, Ivorian, that's why we call him Ivorian. If someone from the Ivory Coast does something wild, should I sit here and blame Ivorian for someone doing something wild? Or do I use that against him? So why are we using that? So please explain that. I really want to know. Why is Sheikh Jassim, who's one man from the country, being blamed for what the Qataris have done? What we doing?
I just want to say, I just want to say, if you want to talk about slave labors being built, bro, that we can go centuries. Slave labor has helped build a lot of countries within the economy, but you're not talking about it. You know, that's immorally wrong. You look at the UK, you look at the US, built on what? Slavery, built on cotton and all sorts of stuff. You look like Africa, you see the corruption there, also built on slavery and all that kind of stuff. You look at Europe, majority for those who colonized France, how did they build their country? How did they get their economy to their best state? You know, yeah, by slavery. But you're not going at them. You are not going at. You're going at Qatar because they built stadiums recently because of what they've done recently. But if you look at history, a lot of people have used slave labor to build their countries. I don't know where you are from. Yeah, you might be from the States, you might be from the UK, you might be anywhere. Yeah, but I guarantee you that something like slave labor has been used to help build your country. You look at ancient Egypt, those pyramids, who were they built by? Jews, slavery. But are we talking about breaking down the pyramids?
Facts.
Because they were built by slaves?
A man said he's the main dog. He's the main dog in Qatar, fam. How do we know that? Base, where's that information? Please drop a link to say he's the main dog in Qatar.
No, he's
Where
not.
did that happen? That he was involved? It's like, man, just be saying anything, man. Just say you don't know. You know what I'm saying to that? Yeah, case, hella stereotyping. Why is one man being blamed for what a whole country's doing? I don't get that. If it was the country and the state buying the club, that would make sense. But why? I don't understand why one man is being blamed. Did he sanction that? Was he ahead of the World Cup Commission? Was he a part of? See, man, just say anything, man. I'm talking about people just want to complain, man. You man are miserable. You know what I'm saying? Man are just miserable. Swear on my
people
life.
out here just want to call themselves 007 and think they're James Bond and start shooting at people.
People just want to be miserable and that. Don't watch that, innit? If you get taken over, don't watch. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know.
I said that. You know, for life, we're even getting into it. People just want to complain. That's all it is.
Stop moaning, like my boy Sancho said to Bruno. Stop moaning,
yeah,
bro.
man. Hella Brunos, man. Hella Brunos. We'll get into that as well. Actually, let's go there. Let's go there now, innit? You know what I'm saying? I love when people reveal themselves in the comment section to just complain. You know what I'm saying? Yes, the floor is yours, man. Yeah, people be clutching, man, all the time. Floor is yours. Thoughts on that? Jadon Sancho telling Bruno to stop moaning, which I found hilarious, by the way.
I find it so funny, bro. I'm still laughing. Do you know why? Because I got a gif of that. It was a gif or gif, pronounce it whatever you pronounce it.
GIF,
of him saying, "Stop moaning, bro. Stop moaning." Because it's so funny, you know. Because about a minute before that, I remember Bruno in a position to pass to Marcus Rashford to slot in. But what did Bruno do? Decided to take a shot and hit the side netting when Marcus Rashford was open for him to cut back. Yeah, and Rashford rightfully should be moaning at Bruno Fernandes. A minute later, Sancho doesn't pass, and you're moaning. I don't like that, bro. I know it's because he thinks he's captain. Yeah, it's funny, you know. do as I say, but not as I do. Is what Bruno's trying to do right now. It's like what he's trying to say to the team. Just do as I say, but don't do what I do. You get me? No. But I thought it was hilarious, man. And it's a taste of Bruno's own medicine, because sometimes you need it as teammates. But I can tell it's not a big issue. They're all mates at the end of the day. They probably laughed about it. It's different from when Marcus Rashford told Harry Maguire to shut the F up, you bloody knobhead. That one there hurt.
Yeah.
That
was
one
funny.
was
That was funny.
completely
That was
different.
funny.
That was funny, but it burnt Maguire because he was the captain. This one here is completely different, man. It just shows passion as well. Two players that want to win, two players that want it all for the club. And yeah, they all moan at each other. And it's good sometimes, It just shows. Sometimes I like it when my players fight with each other, especially
Emma just
when
said
we're
that in the
losing,
chat.
because it shows me that they care about what's going on the pitch right now. But boy, anyway, like the guy in the chat, I think Bruno's problem is more Casemiro, because Casemiro has put it on him twice so far. You shouldn't worry about Sancho. You shouldn't worry about Troop's little brother, bro. Don't worry about
it. It was funny. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. That's how I found it. It was funny. And I think Gary Neville said it in his podcast. He's like, that's one thing that all United fans, but the vast majority are in agreement with. This guy is always complaining. We've heard opposition fans mention it. I've heard Manchester United fans mention it. And now players. I don't even know the context as to what it was or why he said it. I just found it funny. And he does, man. Stop complaining. That being said, on the Aston Villa game, props to Bruno and the team as well, because they played well. Props to him in the Aston Villa game. They played well. Professional performance, I would say. Dominant display, minus the little bit at the end where Lindelof cleared the ball off the line. That's all really Villa had. They had one shot on target the entire game. Bear in mind, they were one of the informed teams going into that game. Emery's done a great job with them. And they was on film. I think they'd lost in their last 8. I think it was like 6 wins and 2 draws, something along those lines anyway. So, yeah, thoughts on that game? Thoughts on beating Aston Villa and bouncing back after the disappointing draw against Spurs?
Do you know what? Yeah, the first 45 minutes of that game, because it was a good match for Manchester United overall. The first 45 minutes themselves, Manchester United were in control and in possession of the ball. At times, looked comfortable. Didn't look like Aston Villa can break through that lines in the first half. And the goal itself, brilliant header by Casemiro, and Casemiro has come back to his best performance. He's improved recently, because the last 4 games he's been shit. And I think he knows it because of the lack of games that he's missed out on since the suspension. But Casemiro's header, that rifling header, my God, Bruno, and what that Bruno's pass as well. Rashford getting there to take that shot was a good build-up goal, man, from the team, man. And I was pleased with that. 1-0 at half-time, I was thinking, boy, this team better not better not perform a Spurs moment right now, because we know we need another goal, and we know that this team could eventually just flop in the second half. But Manchester United held it on their own for a good 45 minutes. David De Gea with some crucial saves as well. Defensively, I have to say, Luke Shaw. You know how I feel about Luke Shaw, innit? I don't rate him.
Not even as a centre back.
No. I'm just saying general. You know how I don't rate Luke Shaw, innit? But I have to put my hats up to him, man. Defensively, he's been, as a centre back, left-sided centre back, he has been solid. He's replicating the same performance that you see from Martinez, as in building up from the back and getting into positions in midfield, invading midfield positions where he can help build the attacking phase of the game. And he's been excellent at that, and blocking from the high line. That guy, Luke Shaw, as a left centre back, is something. And he looks so much better than one of our players who actually is a centre back, which is Harry Maguire, of course. And Lindelof as well in defence. Hats up to him as well. Another good performance from Lindelof. He was ice cold in the game before that, in the Carabao Cup as well. I mean, in the FA Cup semi-finals. Of course, Tottenham was a different game. They done well in the first half, but just blew it in the second half. But Lindelof and Luke Shaw, including Malacia playing as well. Malacia was fantastic as well the whole 90 minutes. He did have a poor game when coming on against Spurs, but he made up for that game. He was involved tackling as well. I have to say, it was a good game, man, for Manchester United. Good result. We take the 1-0. We move on. Of course, we've got Brighton. I think if we needed to get points, it's that game where we needed the points, because now we can afford to probably slip up a little bit or get a draw against Brighton, but definitely would have been in deep shit if we didn't win against Aston Villa. But now we just look forward to the Brighton game, man. But United did well, man. Big up to the manager as well. Bruno, I think to me, Bruno was my man of the match. I'm not going to lie to you. The goal from Bruno. Rashford did well. I know that the ball ricocheted, but Bruno was in the right position. But Rashford as well did well, and Casemiro did well to win that header to set off Rashford for Bruno to finish it. But yeah, big up to Bruno. I think that's 11 goals so far and over 10 assists, which is good.
Okay.
But
of course, that's a good return. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, we want more. But yeah, in regards to it, echoing what you saying in regards to the Aston Villa game, professional performance. Well, it was dominant, limited Aston Villa. Like I said, they had one shot on target. The Lindelof clearance at the end was fantastic. I thought everybody in the team was good. I thought it was a good overall team performance. There's no one I pinpoint and say they was poor. They wasn't pulling their weight. Only two issues I have is we didn't create more, and then the chances we did create, we didn't take. We should have won by more than 1-0. Like, it was more flattering to Aston Villa than it was to us important win. Because I believe if they would have won, they definitely would have closed the gap on us. Because, like I said, they've been in form on one of the informed teams. We kept Ollie Watkins quiet, didn't do nothing. We kept him extremely quiet in the game. Because, I'm looking there, they're currently 7th, you know what I'm saying, on 54 points. But they would have been 3 points behind us if they would have won. That being said, we have played 2 games less. To man in the chat, Rashi 10, I don't know why man, like, anyone arguing or talking rubbish will be blocked. You know what I'm saying? And that we're all here. You man, you can debate in the chat, but don't just be spamming nonsense in the chat when it's nothing to do with nothing. You will be blocked. So, like, just like, and that's to anyone. Because I don't know why people come here and be in the chat talking rubbish. You'll be blocked. There's other places for that. Sarcasm City TV is not one of them. It's not one of them. I don't know why man are criticizing a player we're not talking about. Stop run your agendas elsewhere. We're talking about a player, cool, in his form, cool. But if we're not talking about him, you just randomly mention him, you will be blocked. Simple as that. What else we going to next? Well, so we discussed the Villa game, discussed the ownership. Obviously, Brighton we've discussed as well. And I discussed this yesterday, so we'll go back to it. But we'll get your thoughts on it again, because the conversation was on the channel. We had the conversation on the Q&A, and then that's why I had it yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Harry Kane.
Yeah. Yep.
And this has been going, even last night, this was going over my head. I was thinking about like this debate, but what's your thoughts? Because obviously reports are saying we're interested, which obviously makes sense. Are you for Harry Kane? Are you against it? Pros, cons, etc. Because the more I think about it, the more I'm against it. But I'll let you speak on it first.
All right. I'm for and against for a reason. I'm for. I'll start off with. Should I start off with the against? Or I'm for it because why? The reason why I'm for it is because, of course.
Yeah, explain why you're for it. Yeah. Cool.
It's Harry Kane. We know exactly what he can deliver to this team because he's Premier League proven. The amount of goals he scored for playing for a dead team. It's not easy playing for a dead team and you're scoring 20 goals on an average every season. It just shows and highlights how good you are. Just like the way you see Ivan Toney, I think 20 goals in all competition this season for Brentford. It's not easy for someone like that plays for a team that are not favoured to win as much games or get as much points or beat as much teams. Most likely they look at them and you probably think relegation fights, but it's not the case, man. It's not easy. But with back to Kane, it's the experience, and of course, nobody can say that Harry Kane is not a world-class striker. Like,
that's true.
He's proven it. He's proven it over the years. He's up there in terms of Premier League all-time goal scorers, and he does turn up in big games. You saw that he scored against us. You saw that he scored. Did he? No, he didn't score. Did he score against Liverpool?
He scored against Liverpool. Yeah, he did.
He does.
Scored the first goal.
He always turns up in big games, just not for England. In big games, that's the difference. No, it's the truth though. He don't turn up for England.
You don't turn. I don't think he turns up in big games for Spurs. But we're gonna get into this again. But I don't say
Spurs is Spurs, man. It's not easy to turn up in big games for Spurs, man.
Yeah.
It's hard.
We're gonna get into that, fam.
And then what I'm against is his age, of course. He's in his 30s. The price tag, I'm not feeling to buy anyone over 30 for 100 million. The frequent injuries that he's had, the thighs and hamstring injuries that he's had, that he can probably take into this team. And what else that I would say I'm not for? I said age, yeah, and he's not quick. I like the fact that he drops back, but bro, you drop back too many times, man. Just come on, man. You're supposed to be the striker, and at times for Manchester United, we want someone that can lead the line, not just always drop back and get himself involved in the game, especially in the big games. We want you to be leading the line to get to the end of those crosses and those low crosses and those final balls and those through balls, so you can finish it off. But that's the only reason why I'm for and against. But I overall want someone younger, someone that can give us more than 5 years. Give us a career at Manchester United, not just a short-term career. It's a nice short-term fix for us if we want someone that can do it and guarantee us the goals and understand the league, and we don't want to take the gamble. But then again, every transfer is a gamble, regardless of whether they play in this league or play in another league. It doesn't matter. You can play for Man City and be great, and then go to Arsenal and be shit. For example, what I'm talking about. Gabriel, for example, who is not scoring as much goals as you expected him to score.
I called him Gabriel,
or Raheem Sterling. Gabriel, but I ain't gonna call him Jesus. You know what I mean?
I called him Gabriel,
Yeah, man. And then you got like Sterling, who looked fantastic at Man City, and then go to Chelsea, and you already know it's not working out at Chelsea, man.
No,
but I'm more in favor in the Victor Osimhen or Vlahovic.
So you're with Vlahovic or Osimhen? Okay, first.
Yes, man. Yes. You know what? Sometimes I like the players that we don't know about, too much, that we don't see, because they're the interesting transfers. It's whether they can work or not. With Harry Kane, again, before, I'm not against it. I'm not for it. Yeah, I won't complain if we sign him. I'll welcome him in. And I won't complain if we don't sign him, if we miss out. Because to me, sometimes I look at it as like, it's a bit too late. Harry Kane was 5 seasons ago when we needed him. He's in his 30s now. It's done. The career is almost done. What, 3-4 more years? I'm like Vidic. You know how Vidic was saying, but how old is he? How much? You're not answering my questions, Rio. You're just throwing goals at me and all that kind of stuff to just, sidetrack me. Nah, we need someone that will give us a career at Manchester United, that will stay here for a long term, improve and get better and become a Ballon d'Or winner. That's what we need at Manchester United.
First, before I
and it's not Colin Mwani.
Yeah. Before I give my thoughts on this, continue to bump up the likes, people. Like check 1212. We're at 31 likes. Scales up to 40 likes, people. Looking for 9 more. Subscribe to the channel if you are indeed new. We are at 6,363. We're looking for 2 new subscribers. So hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell as well. Let us hit that subscriber mark before we close out the show. Continue to get your questions in. Just keep them Manchester United related. Of course, if you super chat, we'll get straight to your question as well, people. And on top of that, don't forget, link for the membership is in the pinned comment, because Manchester United watch-alongs on the channel are members-only comment section. Obviously, I have the members Q&As on Twitch. They're just 2 of the perks off the top of my head. So if you want to support the channel further and get involved, link for the memberships in the pinned comment. And like I stated, if you super chat, we'll get straight to it. But I am starring all of the best questions, people. I am. But let's see what's like you lot are saying there. Matthew says, with Harry Kane, the only cons to me is his age and the price he is, and still the price he is. And people say it'll be like Van Persie. I don't think they saw Van Persie play. I agree with you. People have mentioned this to Robin Van Persie. I was doing my research yesterday in regards to, let me look at Van Persie's numbers, because people say, oh, it's like Van Persie. Harry Kane is not of the level of a Robin Van Persie. I agree with Ivorian and everyone else that said Harry Kane is world class. I don't dispute that whatsoever. So like I keep stating, if he is world-class, which we all agree he is, see Ivorian smiling already, let's hold, because he knows what I'm about to say, let's hold him to world-class standards. If he's world-class, let's hold him to world-class standards. So when we get into the Spurs and England situation, I'm not hearing any nonsense and any excuses for this man. But we're going to get into that in a second. But Van Persie at Arsenal was a 1-in-2 striker. Go look at his numbers. The biggest issue with Robin Van Persie at Arsenal was he was injured. Go look at his numbers, people. You have Google. There's one season after he actually got acclimatized and started playing regular. There was one season where he was below 1-2. Every season he was a goal every 2 games or better. Kane is not Robin Van Persie. Let's just clear that up. Clear. Bear in mind, Robin Van Persie was walking into a better team with better players and a better manager. He was the final piece of the jigsaw. Harry Kane would not be the final piece of the jigsaw because we still need much more than just Harry Kane. Bear in mind, I'm not dead against it. I just think there's better options. I just really think there is. Play Simple says, what's hard for turning up for Spurs or England? I've already mentioned it. We've seen Raheem Sterling turn up for England. Go look at that Euro 2020. Who was England's best player? Raheem Sterling. So I'm not hearing about defensive football or hearing about Gareth Southgate tax because Raheem Sterling played in the same side. And everybody would say Harry Kane is clear of Raheem Sterling. So if Raheem Sterling is a system player, which is absolute nonsense because he's performed before Pep, but that's a whole different conversation. But if Harry Kane is clear of Raheem Sterling, how come Raheem Sterling can perform to a high level for England, but Harry Kane can't? Raheem Sterling was their best player in that Euros, without question, no doubt about it, and helped them get to a final. And in regards to Harry Kane, he never shows up when his team need him. When is he showing up? People, and this is my biggest issue, forget profile and him dropping deep. Like I said, I've been actually thinking about this because we've had this conversation over the past couple of days. Ivor, and you correct me if I'm wrong, he's expected to, if Manchester United sign him, he's expected to be the difference maker for us, correct?
Absolutely. The guy that helps us win the title from what you hear from the media.
Okay, so that's this. So if we're expecting him to be the difference at Manchester United, how come he's never been a difference at Spurs? And I'm not saying Premier League or Champions League. I'm saying Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Europa League, Conference League. This is a world-class player. If you're a world-class player, I'm sorry. You can deliver a Carabao Cup, a League Cup, a Europa League or Conference League trophy to your football club. You're not playing with complete scrubs. Yeah, people can say Spursy tax and all this. You're the best player on the pitch. We watched them get knocked out by AC Milan this season. Let me ask you a question, Ivor. Question to people in the chat and the Kane defenders. Is Harry Kane not the best player on the pitch? Out of them 22 players on the pitch, is he not the best player on the pitch? I believe Liao was
Spurs in England?
No. When Spurs played AC Milan this season in the Champions League, I think it was the knockout round. It might have been it was the knockout round. Is he the best? Is he not the best player on the pitch?
By reputation, yes.
So
by reputation, yes.
But yeah, so I should expect. So let's say I'm guessing you think maybe Rafael Leao's better, but okay, let's say he's the second best.
Absolutely, the first best. Yeah, but as a striker, he's the best striker in that.
He's the best. He's the best striker. He's one of the. So impact the game. Then. You're expected to be a difference maker for Manchester United, but I've never seen you be a difference maker for Spurs. So why all of a sudden is he going to come to Manchester United where you're under more pressure and deliver? This man's never delivered. He's world class. Someone tell me when he's delivered. Again, I'm not even talking about the best trophies in the world. I'm not even talking about the biggest trophies in the world. I'm not saying deliver a Premier League and a Champions League, even though he was in a Premier League title race and lost to Leicester City and Vardy. But that's a whole different conversation that people don't want to get into. Because he did. And then I was on when I was on the football terrace, and shout out to Roy, and they were saying, oh, that's not his fault. It's not solely his fault. But if Spurs win that Premier League, who gets the majority of the praise? Harry Kane. So if they lose it, which they did, why does he not receive the majority of the criticism? I don't like that. You can't be praise when you do well, but then when we're going to sweep it under the rug, the players are bad, and Levy's bad, and it's Spurs tax, and Dyer's not good enough, and whoever else is not good enough. Nah. We're not doing that. Everyone would say he's England's best player, correct? He's England's best player. So then I should expect the most from you.
That's what they say.
So how come I've never seen you deliver for England in pressure moments? Never.
And
Euro the 2020 final, where was you? Semi-final, where was you? The game against France, where was you?
Yep.
Where was you?
No, that ball is still in space.
Okay, go on. I have no issue with this
as we speak.
Yeah, exactly. United for life.
Hasn't landed anywhere.
NASA talking about his talent. I'm talking about his skill set. He's never delivered for Spurs. We watched Spurs go out of domestic cups to Nottingham Forest and Middlesbrough this season. He played in both the games. Where was you? Every time Spurs have had an embarrassing defeat and it's been Spursy, he's played the vast majority of the times because he don't get injured often as that. I do believe people over-exaggerate his injury record. So with that, why is he not being criticized for that? These are the doubts I have over him. I've never seen you deliver for Spurs. If he had won one Carabao Cup, this deads my argument. Or Sheffield United. Yeah, bless Warrior J. Sorry, I think that was the season before. So yeah, he lost to Sheffield United and he lost to who was the other one? Yeah, Sheffield United and I believe Nottingham Forest this season. And he played in both games. Deliver. You lost the league title race to Leicester City. What are we doing? I watched Jamie Vardy also help Leicester City win the FA Cup. Bear in mind, you were in the better team in that title race. Thomas says Spurs out Manchester United without a lack of top-notch athleticism. He's easy to shut down in favor of other players. The let others beat you mentality. Yeah, we're not Manchester. Spurs aren't Manchester United. I agree with that. But then without a lack of top-notch athleticism, I'm not hearing that if you're world class. I'm sorry. I'm not hearing no excuses if you are a world-class footballer, deliver. Because again, if you're world-class, I'm holding you to world-class standards. But let me ask you a question, Ivorian.
Mm-hmm.
You think if you think Cristiano Ronaldo was at Spurs, does he help over the length of period that Kane has been there? Does he help them win at least one trophy?
He'll try, or he might just moan and complain and leave. Want to leave,
no. I'm saying, all right, let me repeat that. No. Prime Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm talking about Ronaldo that was at United.
Prime
or United
Cristiano Ronaldo would definitely help Tottenham win a trophy. He will elevate them to win.
Okay.
Because prime Cristiano Ronaldo elevated us to win that Premier League and that Champions League final in 2008. He turned up. Even when he missed the penalty, he still took us to the penalty shootouts with Chelsea by scoring a goal. You know, a towering header. Ronaldo turns up, you know, regardless of how we feel about this guy, he turns up in big games. He's got a record for it. He's made for stuff like this. He was made for nights like this as well. You get me? Like people like that. That's what I talk about. Kane, when the going gets tough, bruv, he scruffs it, man. He doesn't do it. Like the penalty, the big tournaments, the Italy versus England Euro finals, nowhere to be seen, you know. Against France, nowhere to be seen. Yeah, you got your goal, but you could have been the guy that took England to the possible penalty shootouts and beat France. You could have won the World Cup. You just never know. I'm speaking far ahead, but would have never happened, especially against Argentina. But you just don't know, like, when it really matters. So yeah, I get what you're saying.
Jacob, who says no single player can get us over the line. Enoch in charge with surrounding with Eric Dyer and he'll fail. Even Prime Ronaldo, let's be real, completely disagree with that, Jacob. Prime Ronaldo helps you lot win a Carabao Cup. The reason why you lot lost this season to Nottingham Forest and lost, I keep forgetting who you lost the other game to, and to Sheffield United is not because of Enoch. I'm sorry. That's a scapegoat thing. That's on your better players. Tottenham Hotspur's team is good enough to get past Middlesbrough. It's good enough to get past the Nottingham Forest. It's good enough to get past the Sheffield United. Let's not do this. That team you've had is good enough to go and win a domestic trophy, 110%. So I'm putting that on the best player.
And you know what?
I've seen Wigan win a League Cup. What are we doing here? I've seen Millwall reach a FA Cup final. What are we doing? Like, let's not do this. Let's hold Harry Kane to the world-class standards. I'm not making no excuses for that, man. I'm sorry. There's zero excuses for him. He has failed at Spurs. Every time Spurs have needed him, he's failed. Yeah, go on.
I just want to add to what you just said there, how Ronaldo can be a difference maker. You look at last season when Ronaldo joined us, yeah. As soon as you joined us, what did people make us? Title favorites. It has it all. Like, as soon as Ronaldo joined us, they made us title favorites. My friend genuinely believed that we could have won the Champions League and I asked him, what makes you think we could win the Champions League? Because you know we got Oli. He said, we have Cristiano Ronaldo. That was his response. So that just shows, yes, if Ronaldo was to join Spurs, people would genuinely believe that Bobby Tottenham could be favorites or they can challenge for the title. So yeah. Just to add back up to what you're saying.
Yeah, is it good enough to beat City in a Carabao Cup final? Is it good enough to beat United and City in the FA Cup? Yes, because we're not that great and you have an exceptional record against Manchester City. So yes, are you favourites going into the game against Manchester City? Absolutely not. But is Spurs' good team good enough and has been? I'm not talking about just this Spurs side. I'm saying over the past number of years. Have the side you've been in been good enough? You're in a title race. That team with the Poch was fire. Like, let's not do this. Like, you had quality players to get over the line. That team was good enough. Is it all on Kane? No. But should the majority of the blame lie at his feet? Yes, because you are the best player. Yeah, man, Harry Kane is a media darling, flawless and Ivorian. He gets away with so much. Hell, he gets away with so much. That man gets away with murder. And it's not until now he's been linked with our club and I've been speaking on this more, I start to realize it. Like I said, I was legit thinking about this yesterday. That's why I went and checked Van Persie's numbers. Like, let's see what Van Persie was doing at Arsenal. Because when I remembered, I was like, the biggest issue with Van Persie at Arsenal, that he was just always injured. And I was correct. Look at his injury record. Because the one season he played 38 league games there, he scored 30 goals. But every other season, like I said, once he got up to speed, by one, he was scored 1 goal in 2 games or better. His goals to game ratio was ridiculous. And overall, as a baller, he was ridiculous as well. Don't know his assist, though, but I know he would have had assists. But he was a baller. And then we've seen what he did in that season at Manchester United. So, yes, to answer your question, yes, Kane's been in team. My overall riding point is Harry Kane, over the years he's been at Spurs, has been in teams that are good enough to win trophies, and they failed miserably. No one's talking about them losing to City in a Carabao Cup final. That can happen. That can happen 110%. I'm talking more so, again, like this season. How are you going out to Sheffield United? How are you going out to Nottingham Forest? Last season, it was Middlesbrough. The season before that, it was whoever. How many embarrassing defeats has he been a part of? But if Spurs win, he'd get all the praise. Let next season, I'm talking like this now. Let's say hypothetically he stays at Tottenham Hotspur and he wins them a Europa League next season. Who gets the majority of the praise? Harry. This is why Manchester United signed him. He should get also. He could have got United over the line. He got Spurs over the line in Europe, and he would deserve the praise for helping them win the Europa League. So therefore, if they fail, I'll criticize because he's the best player in the Europa League. He's the world. How many world-class players are going to be in the Europa League next season? Is he not the best player in the competition? So if he's the best player in the competition, let's hold the best player in the competition to the best player standards. Let's not sugarcoat it. I'm going to critique you even more because you're of a better level. I'm not hearing about Dyer or Enoch or Levy or Lloris or Forster, etc., etc. Kane was on the bench versus Sheffield, though, not excusing him. Our team fell, brought him on to save us, and he couldn't. That's not one entirely correct. He was on the bench, but when he came on the pitch, it was 0-0. There was half an hour to play. We've done the numbers on this on the Q&A. There was half an hour to play. The game was 0-0 against Sheffield United. Bear in mind, it was Sheffield United's B team. Sheffield United Championship, Sheffield United. If you're the best player on the pitch and you're world class, I'm expecting you to deliver in half an hour against him. It was 0-0. And then Sheffield United scored afterwards. Is it all on him? No. Let me repeat that. Does the majority of the blame lie at his feet? Yes. Because you're the best player. You're the best player, you receive the majority of the praise. If the team loses, you should receive the majority of the criticism. After we went out against Sevilla, who did I blame most? Casemiro, Eriksen. They're better players. It's on you lot. I didn't blame Maguire, even though Maguire was at fault and De Gea. I'm looking at our better players. Sabitzer, Sancho, Anthony, Martial. But in particular, Casemiro. Because you're the best player on the pitch. And if you play at 10, we probably win that game. Yes, United for life is a team game. Not disputing that. But poke holes in my argument. Like I stated, United for life. Let me ask you, if Harry Kane wins the Europa League with Spurs next season, who gets the majority of the praise? Answer me that, United for life. Next season, let's say hypothetically he stays and Harry Kane and Spurs win the Europa League and Harry Kane scores goals and gets assists and so does Son and they win it. Who gets the majority of the praise? If he comes to Manchester, if he signs up for Manchester United, I ask another question. I'm saying Conference League, same difference, Jacob. Conference League, FA Cup, League Cup, same difference. Insert trophy here. If Spurs win a trophy, who gets the majority of the praise? And this is what I don't like. You know what I'm saying? It's the mental gymnastics to defend a player that's world class. Or are we admitting that he's not world? We're not going to hold him to world class standards. If we're not going to hold him to world class standards, don't call him world class. I'm not hearing this. I'm sorry. Can't have your cake and eat it too. I'm not.
Exactly so.
I'm tired of this, man. Too many people. This happens far too often in football, and I'm not having it. Let's be balanced about this. If you receive the majority of the praise when you win, you should receive the majority of the criticism when you lose. Because if Spurs win a Europa League, a Conference League, a FA Cup, a League Cup, no one's going to be talking about Levy or Enoch or Eric Dyer or Lloris or Forster or Ben Davies or Longley or Skip or Højbjerg. It's going to be about Kane. This is why Manchester United should have signed Harry Kane, Red Territories, helped Spurs get over the hump, etc., etc. 110% it's a team game, but you got to step up because you're the best player on the pitch. You're Spurs' best player. What are we doing, man? Come on, man. Like, we can't do this. We got to be honest. If we're not holding him to world-class standards, let's not call him world-class then. I think he's world-class, so I'm holding him to world-class standards. I'm saying, like, this is not what we're doing. I honestly think Kane would crumble under the pressure at United. It will be all on him without no excuses of teammates not being good enough. This is one of my issues as well. Because that whole shit can't run at Manchester United. Excuse the language. That can't run. I'm not hearing, we signed him. I'm not hearing about Bruno and Anthony not being good enough, and Rashford and Eriksen and the Glazers if they're still here, and Maguire if he still manages to stick around, and Lindelof and Malacia and Delo and Wan-Bissaka. Nah. I'm not hearing that. United for life. Answer my question. I answered yours. Answer my question, please. Answer my question. If Spurs win a trophy, who gets the majority of the praise? So therefore, he gets the majority of the criticism. I'm not hearing about creativity. I don't doubt that man's talent. Never. I've legit said I'm holding him to higher standards than some of you, man. I'm holding him to a world-class standard. You, man, are not. It's hella excuses and mental gymnastics. This is not what we're doing. It's not unless we're admitting, if we're not going to hold him to world-class standards, he's not world-class then. Cool.
Exactly.
If we go in there. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. Delivering it. You're as good as we think you are, and as people say, deliver.
No, but after all of that, I actually want to know, where do you stand? Like, are you for it? Not interested? We can do better. Because after all that you said, you never really gave the actual answer. You know, you never told us.
I'm not dead against it, because, like I've stated, I think he's a world-class player. I think he comes here and he gets goals, he gets assists. He's a great fall for others. Manchester United improve overall as a team, 110%. But I think there's better options. And I think there's other players who are not as good as him individually, improve us further. Outside of all the things I just mentioned, it's a profile thing as well. How many times have you heard me say it's an athlete's game? Pace and power, what he has none of. He's not athletic. Don't give me non-mobile, non-athletic striker, because the game isn't going that way. When you look at all of the best attackers in the Premier League, one thing they all have in common is pace and power. Yes, you need other things, technical attributes, without doubt, but that's no longer a luxury now. It's a necessity. P&P, 110%. United for life, you still not answered my question, so I'm not answering any of yours. Simple as that. But as I was saying, so yeah, am I dead against it? No. If Ten Hag goes, that's my guy, I go, all right, cool. I still stand on everything I said, but he knows better than me, and I hope to be proven wrong about this. I hope to be proven wrong. But I don't want, like I said, someone who can't play on the counter-attack. That's dead. It's true, the goal that Rashford scored against Spurs, Kane will never score that. People say, Kane will play that pass. We have 2 midfielders and a number 10 behind us. I don't want my striker dropping in deep doing that. I don't need that. You should have Casemiro, an upgrade. You got Eriksen in there, Bruno, and an upgrade on Bruno. All of them can play the passes. And I want him to be able to interchange. I want Rashford to be able to drift central and he drift out left, whoever the center forward is. Or Anthony to drift central and him drift. Fluid. Front three that's like this. Fluid. That can go left, right, central. Kane can't do that. No. Everything else is exceptional at that. Don't get me wrong, people. Exceptional. Finisher, goals, assists, holding up the ball, dropping deep, playing passes. Incredible. But just because you're a better player doesn't mean you are best for the team. Because I'm here saying he's world class, but I don't want him in. There's better options, I think, because I don't like his profile. It's athlete's game. To Dortmund David, my shortlist, I've said I want Ivan Toney. And people will say, and Taza asked me this and was like, right, so you saying Ivan Toney is better than Harry Kane? No, Ivan Toney, of course not, is definitely not a better striker than Harry Kane. But I think he's better for the team, is what I'm saying. And I have less question marks about him. My only question mark about Ivan Toney is, can you do it at a higher level? Which is not his fault. Whereas all the question marks I have about Kane are his fault. All of them. Like, people kind of been mentioning his mentality. I don't even mention his mentality. I don't even look at that too tough. I'm saying, why can't you get over the line? Why are you the only world-class player currently playing that can't get his team over the line? Achieve something. You done. What have you done? Do something. Like for real. Like what has he done? Apart from forget individual records, Ivorian. This ain't boxing.
Mm-hmm.
This is not darts. This ain't snooker. This ain't UFC. This is not an individual sport. What has he done for his team?
Nothing.
So you see why I have my reservations. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, you definitely need to drink some water. Big up to everyone that's shooting, man. Smash that like button, subscribe as always. Flawless has lost his head on Harry Kane right now. He needs some water to just quench that thirst because he spit a lot of game right there, regarding Harry Kane.
Because we have to have these uncomfortable conversations. And the reason why I'm nitpicking,
it's true.
Mm-hmm. The reason why I'm nitpicking is because we're talking about the highest of high levels. So that's why I'm nitpicking. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, Kane was the highest goal scorer. Go on.
No, go on. Say it. No. Oh, no, sorry.
If Kane was the highest goal scorer in Europa for Spurs, then yes, he will get some, not all of the praise, because it's a team sport. Some will get some and even down. That's not answer to the question. I said who gets the majority of the praise. It's a yes or no question. If Spurs win the Europa League or Carabao Cup or League Cup and Kane plays and gets goals and assists, which he does, does he receive the majority of the praise? It's a yes or no question at United for Life. He either doesn't receive the majority of the praise or he does. You know the answer and I know the answer. So let's stop dancing around it. Let's stop. See what I'm saying? Mental gymnastics, people. Mental gymnastics. Because if we're talking about real world-class ballers, we're holding them to world-class standards. I just watched Rafael Leao help AC Milan reach a Champions League semi-final. And it could be a final. What are we doing? Again, I don't even think Rafael Leao's world class. I'm not hearing this. We watched Tammy Abraham help Roma win a Conference League. Tammy Abraham, people.
I rate him.
Tammy Abraham. So we're going to say that Roma side is better than Spurs side, yeah? We watched Gerard Moreno help Villarreal win a Europa League. And we're going to say that Villarreal side is better than Spurs sides that have been in Europa League. No. I'm just saying, people. Don't let West Ham go win that Conference League. Don't let West Ham go win that because they're in the semi-final. Don't let West Ham go win that Conference League. You telling me Mikel Antonio can help West Ham win a European trophy before Harry Kane at Spurs? Uncomfortable conversations, Ivorian. Uncomfortable conversations. People don't like it.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable. Don't make me Google Europa League winners and start going through the teams. Because a lot of them teams are not as good as those Spurs sides.
Do you remember the Champions League final against Liverpool? Yeah, we know that Harry Kane wasn't fully fit. But why did you start? Why did you start if he was not fully fit? I think he would have had a better impact if he came on and try and do something for Spurs. But no, he decided to start, man. And what it matters the most, he didn't turn up. That Champions League final is a prime example. He didn't turn up. He wasn't ready for it, man. But it's what it is, Flawless, man. But we can move on from Harry Kane, because he can't take up most of the chat. Of course, Garnacho extending his contract, Flawless.
Talk about it.
Beautiful. If you guys watch today's videos that's come out on the MUTV Manchester United app and also online with our manager giving a wonderful speech to Garnacho and to his family, telling him how he's earned it and how he's worked hard. Garnacho is here till 2028. I'm sure he's got the money that he wanted because, of course, we all heard that before it was a slightly money issue where he wanted it a bit more than what Manchester United were offering. I hope they haven't gone too absurd with the money. I hope they're probably offering him like under 70k because someone like him needs to earn his way to the 100 to 200k because you're still 18, you're still 19, you haven't proven yourself to get the big bucks like the way Fergie used to do it. He make you work hard for it, man, really and truly. But I'm glad to see Garnacho renew his contract because that was one player that we thought was quite worried that you just never know because he's coming towards the end of his contract. Yeah, especially with these Latino boys, the Argentinians, South Americans, if they hear anything about Real Madrid or Barcelona, the head's gone. They're gone like the way Flawless's head was gone when he was talking about Kane, bro. Nothing but just Kane. They'll just think straight Spanish team. So I'm quite glad that we've got that talent all the way to 2028. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure if Garnacho will stay here for life because again, these are South American players, and South American players don't matter whether they play in England for the best team in England. Their dream is to play for Real Madrid and or Barcelona, and that's facts. They don't look at us and tell us that they want to play in England and that stuff. They probably use us as a stepping stone. But I'm glad to see him, and long may it continues. We'll probably see Garnacho take a next levels forward up from next season, knowing that this has been his first season in the Premier League, and he's adapted well. Over 30 games, 4 goals in return, so we can be happy with that. But again, next season we'll probably see a better Garnacho as well. And of course, he's close to returning, so I'm happy with that, man. Your thoughts on Garnacho renewing his contract?
Oh yeah. I'm very happy about it. Garnacho, I think I spoke on it there with Kane in regards to the pace and power. That's something that Garnacho has, like in abundance. And we've seen him make an impact in games. Is there still levels to go in his game? Yes, but he's 18. So I'm happy to be tied him down to the contract. And I'm happy he's a part of the squad. Because I think his attributes impacts up. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're playing on the counter, especially if you're playing on the counter attack, Garnacho's the perfect person to bring off the bench. Or even if you're attacking and you're looking for a goal, his injection of pace and just being a willing runner and being direct is gonna pay dividends, and we've seen it. Wherever the winner, just 2 examples: the winner he set up in the Manchester derby in the league game, and also the goal he scored, the winner he scored at Fulham. 2 important moments for Manchester United at those points in the season. They're just 2 off the top of the head, and I'm hoping he can be fit and available for that FA Cup final as well, as I think he can make an impact in that. Big pitch at Wembley, massive pitch at Wembley. So him running in behind will cause issues. And again, it's an athlete's game. One thing he's direct, man. He's an athlete. I'm saying not so much on the power side, but he has a lot of pace. He's electric. He's explosive with his pace, and that's what's needed. So I'm happy about it, and I think his luck is a great option to have. I think we have to salute Garnacho and salute Ten Hag for utilizing him this season, because at the start of the season we weren't talking about Garnacho, and the wide players are actually the positions I look at and go, we're actually set. Because I like it. Diallo, man, I've mentioned in the chat about Diallo coming back, so I get to that as well. I'm happy Diallo is coming back. So you got Anthony and Diallo on the right, 2 right wingers who are left-footed, and then you got Garnacho and Rashford on the left, 2 left wingers who are right-footed. We're set there. Throw Sancho in the mix who can play either side as well. I like that. Bruno, we've seen play wide right like he did against Villa as well. So I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? The Garnacho deal. I think it's good business. And yeah, just back to it, Thomas Bay. Of course, we don't care and gets the majority of the praise. But again, people just don't want to admit. Because now I'm here giving them the majority of the criticism when they lose. But I watched Joe Aribo, you know what I'm saying, last season for Rangers, help them get to a Europa League final. So Joe Aribo or Rangers can do it. Yeah, they lost Frankfurt. Someone tell me the Frankfurt striker that was playing up top. I had to just Google that. I still don't know who he is. We won't even call him. I don't even know his name. We watched Sevilla win it against Inter Milan with friggin' Luke de Jong up top 2 seasons ago.
Oh yeah,
but Kane can't do it now.
And we already know de Jong that couldn't even do it at Newcastle, but was able to do it at Seville and won them a trophy, scored vital goals in the finals. Yeah, man. You know, it's different minerals. Some players have different minerals for certain occasions, you know what I'm saying? But big up Garnacho as well. Announced that he's going to be a dad as well. So he's just showing maturity, and, you know, it's good for him. You know, it's for him to have something to focus on. You know, some of these young players, you know, they get lost in the sauce. They get within themselves, and then they get themselves done within a very early age. So I hope he keeps his head down and focused. Listen to his manager, Eric Ten Hag, that told him that he deserved it because he worked for it. You know, he worked hard for it, and because he's talent. And he also let Garnacho know that talent without hard work goes nowhere. It's okay to have the talent, but if you don't have the hard work, it goes nowhere. And he knows that right in front of his family. He said that too. So that just sends message, because his mom can be like, hey, my son, listen to Eric Ten Hag, yeah? Emmanuel, listen to your manager, Ten Hag. That's the guy, bro. And it's good to have someone like him, because if he had that scrub last year, all he talks about is how he scored that goal in the 99 final. It doesn't really teach you how to score goals. Yeah, he wouldn't have not developed at all, because we've seen a lot of people regress under that guy's coaching or stewardship, because he can't coach. He said it himself. Like, still can't get a job, But Sam Allardyce is, being linked for a job to return that
guy
Leeds,
as
you
well,
know.
Sam, and you're going Leeds, man. You're going to the Ops. I love you, Big Sam.
I know.
I love you, Big Sam. I do.
Get me?
I love you,
Big
Big Sam.
up to Garnacho, man. Sam Allardyce, that crook, that. Hey, look. Someone will talk about morality. Yeah, look at Sam Allardyce, bro. The guy's immoral at times, bro. But where is he? I think he left the chat, innit? But yeah, it is where big up Garnacho. As well.
He left the chat because he got spanned. That's why. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, saying, "Oh, this man made me look stupid." So when I start asking questions for people are getting no answers. I was like, "All right, give me the links to Sheikh Jassim being the main guy. Where is this come from?" I just want to be here to complain.
Qatar. I did
to
not
Thomas,
know
who says
Qatar.
The Spurs, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? One man was responsible for an entire nation. The Spurs win titles if Rashford is on Spurs, or is Kane carrying them as far as they can go? We agree on being at Manchester United. No, I don't think Rashford, but yeah, Rashford's won trophies, but is Rashford as good as Harry Kane? That's the question you got to ask yourself there. Do we put Rashford on the pedestal of a Harry Kane? No, we don't. So therefore, no, I'm not holding him to that standard. Anybody I hold to world-class standard helps Spurs win a trophy. Anyone I personally genuinely believe is world class, yes. If you put Karim Benzema at Spurs, they win a Carabao Cup. Yes, Benzema can match what Tammy Abraham's done in the Conference League. And what Mikel Antonio, like I said, don't let West Ham win that Conference League this season. That's all I'm saying, because then that makes that conversation on Kane even more uncomfortable. That Mikel Antonio went and done what you couldn't in the Conference League. Let's not do that. And then I don't want to hear West Ham have a great team, because they've been battling relegation the entire season. What are we doing with Moisey in charge? See, people don't like having. Let's speak honestly, man. If we're gonna have an honest conversation, let's be honest. Ivan says, "Yo, bro, flawless. Hope you come in to the US for the preseason game, bro." Nah, I won't be. I wish I could, but I got work to do, man. You see me working hard before I can be on extravagant. I'm planning to go away, but like I can't be going on the extravagant holidays. But I'm definitely.
Yeah, you guys need to donate. You guys need to send a super chat. You need to send the fence and contribution to get flawless up in the States during preseason. So it's down to you guys.
Yeah, that's why I'm working so hard, is to build so I can just be going on holidays, like extravagant holidays, I should say. But US is on the cards. I'll be there for the World Cup, Ivan. I'm out there for the World Cup, 100%. Yeah. I'm out there for the World Cup.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's about the world. I'm there for the World Cup, 110%. It's Mexico, Canada, and the US. Yo, if you want to pull up Ivorian, pull up. We are rolling. A load of us are looking to go. But obviously, we got ManDem out there anyway.
Stack my P's as well. Stack my P's and get ready for the World Cup.
Start till 2026. You got 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. I'm gonna save up for that, bro. Because me, I've always wanted to go. I think we missed out on the best World Cup, which was Saudi Arabia. I mean, Qatar, where it was a footballing city, where all the stadium was in near proximity. Everywhere you go, it's just flags. We missed the best World Cup. It's like going to a football festival, like Glastonbury, and everything's around you, all the stages and all that stuff. But the States should be good. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully Jamaica qualifies, Ivory Coast qualifies.
I will be there in the Jamaican strip if Jamaica qualifies.
Get me an adopted 100%. Country, England, in it will definitely qualify. So we'll be definitely supporting England and our respective countries, man. Definitely. I need to look into that. You're right. We got time. A lot of saving. Yeah.
Hey, big up Ivan with the super chat. He says, "Hey, you bro. Hopefully you get to see you then."
I think he listened to what I said, innit? Only you can make it possible by sending your super chat. Big up.
Big up Ivan, man. Appreciate it. But definitely 2026. That's the plan. I'll be out there for that. I'm definitely looking to get out there for that, for the US. Obviously, you lot know. Regular watchers know. Obviously, we have US panelists, so we're already patterned. I've got family tree over there in the US as well. I think we're planning on going to the Mexico part, maybe not so much Canada, but they're only looking to get to a couple games, but the place gonna be rocking 110%. United for Life says, I answer your question, but you didn't like it. No, you didn't answer the question. You denied. You danced around it. It was a yes or no question. If Spurs win something, does Harry Kane receive the majority of the praise? Yes or no? It's a simple yes or no. Absolutely. There's no context to be applied. We know he does. We all know he does. If they win, the media go mad if he delivers any trophy to Spurs.
That's their guy.
And they do, and rightfully so, because he's the best player. I'd praise him. If he wins a Carabao Cup next season, give him his props. If he wins a Conference League, Europa League, FA Cup, give him his props. You've delivered for your team. But currently, right now, you failed at Spurs. You failed to deliver. Is it all on him? No, I keep saying it's not all of it. It's the majority. That's why I say the word majority. The vast majority is on him, yes, because you're the best player. I'm not hearing about Dyer and Son, and like I said, Skip and Hoiberg, you know what I'm saying, and Mora and Lloris and Forster, and Ryan Mason and Mourinho. Okay, so we don't receive. Okay, Fairs United for life. You're the only person on planet Earth that thinks that, but cool. Not the majority. All right, cool. Okay. Nothing else to discuss then. We'll just have to agree to disagree. Let's see what else you lot are saying before. Hey, you lot continue to bump up the likes as well, man. We're only at 39 likes. 39 likes. One more. Get us up to 40. We're 2 subscribers short as well. Make sure you subscribe to Ivorian's channel at Red United TV as well. I'm saying make sure you subscribe to his channel at Red United TV. Let me add it to the title right now. Give me 1 second. Add it to the title right now. Let them know what you got coming up as well, fam.
Yeah. Me?
Yeah. Let them know what you got coming up. Yeah.
Of course, guys. Next, we're back again. Well, for those who are watching, make sure you subscribe to Red United TV because I've got my podcast that I've done yesterday. So make sure you check that out as well. And back live Thursday for the game against Brighton, and of course the weekend game as well. Back with the match rest, and then next week Monday again, the podcast at 8 p.m. UK time, the catch up. Volume 101, where we reviewed the game and we talk everything Manchester United news, just like this. But you get me on the other channel and with a couple of guys, and of course, you guys already know who I am. You already like me, so just check it out and make sure you tune in on next week Monday at 8 p.m.
Yeah, man. There you go, people. We'll answer your final few questions as well. Let's see what else you lot are saying. I love it's about Kane. I love it's about Kane still. As well as from Dortmund David, as well as forward, what other signings would you have for next season? Obviously, you're new here, so I don't mind answering this. We've answered this. New goalkeeper, upgrade in central midfield area in regards to Ericsson, upgrade on Bruno, striker, 2 new fullbacks as well. That's the signings I want to see for the first team. Yeah, go on, fam.
As well as forwards, obviously, we need 2 strikers. But yeah, definitely 2 new midfielders in the team. Another centre back, and I think a new left back because I am really favouring you have convinced me as well, and Luke Shaw has convinced me that he's not a left back. He's a left sided centre back. Long may it rains and long may it continues because he definitely looks assured in that position. He knows what to do. Of course, he hasn't had as much games as he needs to for us to be saying he definitely needs to. But from the games that we've seen and the level of game that we saw against Man City, where he got to do with Erling Haaland, with Rafa Varane, it does prove that he's ready to change positions. And big up Ten Hag, who always brings a new position to any player. Any player learns a new position under Eric Ten Hag. That's how great he is. And you got to big up him for that because he does a lot of these wrong-sided trainings where you play on the side that you're not used to, or you play on the foot that you're not used to, and he helps improve your weaknesses. If you're a centre-back, you'll play your out position and play as a left-back in training or in right mid, so you are assured and know every position of where they need to be. And that's, of course, total football at the end of the day. You need to be able to understand your teammates' position and know when to move and swap position with your teammates and cover them. And that's great, man. And we needed that, man. We need that. And big up Ten Hag, man. You got Wan-Bissaka looking good as a left back, bro, at times. Yeah, and you got Dalot as a right back, which we know he can play left back, looking good at times, Lindelof being played out of position as well. Luke Shaw being played out of position and still doing all right. Bruno, you know how many times he's been played. Bruno's the hole in the team. He gets moved around all over the place. So, yeah, man, I'm happy, man. I am happy. But, yeah, we definitely need a new left back. And 2 centre backs, 2 midfielders, and possibly a new right winger as well to accommodate. But I'm up for the Diallo. He has changed my opinions and thoughts of him. How what I thought about him about the last 2-3 months. I've changed my opinion, and I'm willing to give him a chance at Manchester United. And let him compete with Anthony in that position. Yeah,
that's fair. Always. Tajay says, would you keep Eric Bailly? No. Big up to you, Ed. Big up to ManDem. We did discuss Garnacho, Ed, and he said, do you guys discuss the video of Ten Hag congratulating Garnacho and his family about a new deal? Yeah, we did mention that as well. I've not seen the actual video, but like I said, salute to Garnacho.
I'm going to send you the link.
Oh, yeah. Send me that through.
Yeah.
Question to both of you. What do you both think constitutes a legend status at United? That's a good question still.
Wait, let me just send you the link.
Yeah,
and then I'm going to answer that question, yeah? Because what do we consider a legendary status at United? Definitely not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that people keep calling him a legend. That was a super
What do you think he's a cult hero? You call him a fan favorite?
Club icon. Cult hero, club icon. There's favorite players, club icons, and then there's legends. You know, I'll put him in the club icon section because of what he's done for Manchester United. The fact that he came on again, stuck his foot out, happened to hit his feet and hit the back of the net, and Manchester United won the Champions League on that night. And a lot of times he's come on as a sideman, not wanting to move on as well. Because I can't call a legend that was always a super sub, known as the baby's face assassin, which is great, but never really was the main guy, you know. That can't be your legend. That cannot be your legend, you know. Not at all. Your legend is the guy that comes week in, week out, starts every game, scores, win us titles, you know, was the main guy through that campaign. And that's what they are. Those who break records, those who's been there the longest, played the most games, those who's had sentimental values to the club. And that is not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So those are the characteristics that I constitute as a legend. Goal contributions, of course, trophy contributions as well, their status as a player in terms of the level they played at and how well they're known and how famous they are as well. And for example, I consider someone like, for example, Eric Cantona, Wayne Rooney,
a legend.
Sir Matt Bobsey, Charlton as well. The great Duncan Edward that we could never got to see, but we hear about him, how he was a wonderful player as well. And of course, Ryan Giggs, he's a legend, whether you like him or not, you know. And other players, but club icons, you're looking at Paul Scholes, Gary Neville, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
You don't put Scholes in the legends. I put Scholes.
I will put Scholes there. I'll put Scholes there based on his achievement and what he means to Manchester United as well. And Sir Alex Ferguson is a legend. Sir Alex Ferguson is a legend.
Let me Google the word.
Because you know what, people just give anyone the word legend because they used to play for a club. It doesn't work like that. It don't work like that. We're not going to be calling Anthony Martial a legend of Manchester United once he leaves Manchester United, you know, because we already know exactly what he's done for Manchester United. Absolutely nothing, you know, but he did win some trophies. He's done way better than Harry Kane, you know, he's contributed to trophies. So, yeah, but again, that's my example. And again, I'll always say this, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer cannot be seen as a legend. Nah. It was a side note, man, bro. Side to the side, bro. He was a salad to the chips, bro. Not the chips to the burger. I keep saying that, bro. Because if you don't want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for him, if he wanted to release his actual career, he should have left Manchester United and see how good he is. Yes, over 100 goals, he's up there and etc. But he was a side man. You know, he's the guy that when you're tired, you're like, yo, go on. You know, do you get me? Side man, side missions only. GTA doing side missions, not the main missions. He was sent to do the errands boy. You get me? The guy you sent to the shop. That's what he was. You can't tell me he's a legend. Is he the club top goal scorer? No. Is he the all-time most appearance? No. You know? Yes, he had an impact in Manchester United winning trophies, but was he the main guy? No. And then people forget that. I would say Andy Cole is more of a legend than that scumbag Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
No.
No one wants to give that to him. No, but they won't. They won't.
I would say
they won't mention it.
Yeah, this is tough. Hey, you lot continue to bump up the likes before I answer this question. I've already been going off on one as well. We're at 42 likes, big up. Hit the subscribe button as well. We're still too short. We're still too short, people. We're still too short of the subscriber mark. So there's over 30 of you lot in the building. I know there's at least 2 people who haven't subscribed. Hit that subscribe button and get us to 6,365. Hit the subscribe button before we close out. But yeah, to me, legend is one, you have to definitely have delivered major trophies, 110%. There is some exceptions to the rule, but overall, I'm saying delivered major trophies. That's plural, number one. Number two, been a mainstay in them teams as well. So you can't just be in like within the team and you're a squad player, or like I'm saying mainstay, like you're one of the first names on the team sheet and you played your parts as well. So whether that's from a striker standpoint, goals and attacking midfielder, goals and assists defensively. So yeah, that's what I would say. The only exception to the rule who I might put in a legend category, because I'm a real big fan of him, is Van Persie. But other than that, that's it. He's the only one who's the exception to my rule. So all my legends won major trophies and were mainstays. So Andy Cole's definitely a legend. Roy Keane's definitely a legend. Yap Stam, definitely a legend. Who else? Wayne Rooney, without doubt. Cristiano Ronaldo, without doubt. Dennis Irwin, without doubt. Patrice Evra, Rio Ferdinand, Vidic, all without doubt. Van der Sar put in that mix as well. Beckham, of course. Giggs, of course. The list goes on. So yeah, that's what constitutes a legend to me, is winning major trophies, number one, and number two, like he was a mainstay in the team. He was a first teamer. I'm saying, so I'm not hearing you played over 600 games, but and this ain't Ollie. This is just someone who's been there 10 years. You played over 600 games, but you're a squad player. So I wouldn't put Park I wouldn't put Park as a legend, but I think he's definitely a cult hero. He's a fan favorite, 100%. Same way John O'Shea is. I put him in fan favorite. He is a legend for scoring the winner at Anfield in the last minute, though. You know what I'm saying? I say that much. Definitely. Do I think Kane has good enough players around him who can create? Yes or no? Yes. What, now or previously? Not so much now, but previously, yes. When he had Dele Alli and had Eriksen and had Dembele and had Walker and Rose and Trippier, yes. Right now, no, but previously, yes. I don't know the point you're trying to get at. Mm-hmm. Nani, no. Nani's not. No, Nani's not a legend. Fan favorite, you could say, yeah, but he's not. I do put a little asterisk next to Rooney for trying to force a move to City. Still a legend, though. See, I don't care about all that because I understand it's a job for them. So that's why.
Rooney's an all-time top goal scorer? Wayne Rooney. Legendary status right there. That is facts. He's in the record books for Manchester United, you know, as the all-time top goal scorer for Manchester United in all competitions. Yes, the whole Chelsea, I want to leave and all that kind of stuff puts a stint to it. But again, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial career puts a huge dent and a huge stint towards his legendary status for those who consider him as a legend. And if you want to compare that and compare Rooney's one as well, yes, it puts a stint. But look at Ole. Ole's career sucks, bro, as a manager. So that I will probably say, yeah, I'll put a stint to his legendary status. That's why I downgraded him to club's icon. You feel me?
And to the legend thing as well, one also thing I add is if I was walking outside the stadium and I seen a statue of them, would I be like, nah, that's not right? And that's how I look at it. That's why it's like if I'm walking and I see a statue of Roy Keane, I'm like, yeah, deserved or Scholes or Stam or any of the players I mentioned. No, Wes Brown, no, he's not a Manchester United legend. Fan favorite, but he's not. No, he's not.
Man, like
Rajat, stop, cut it out.
Man, like Dennis Law, George Best. These are legends, bro. These are iconic names that will forever be remembered at Manchester United.
Everybody's what's the word I'm looking for? Everybody's like criteria is different for legend. That's why I stayed what my criteria is, because everyone's criteria may be slightly different. So that's what it is. I don't know.
I think you'll even raise the eyebrows for those who love Ole. You'll raise an eyebrows if Manchester United built a statue for Ole. You're thinking, what?
Yeah, because I don't think him or sharing him like I'm looking at and going, yeah, statues. I think fan favorites is fairs with those two. I think Dwight York. Nah, Dwight York has to.
He's a fan favorite.
He has to. For the treble, he has to go legendary status. But go on, carry on.
No, I know for the legendary status, but people have that negative opinion towards Dwight York. people have that negative opinion towards Dwight York, especially what happened with the child that he had with that I forgot her name. Bloody hell. I actually forgot her name. Guys, you know that mysterious girl singer, bro. Pio Andre's ex-girlfriend with the child, I think, called Harvey. So people have probably downgraded his status at Manchester United based on that because they just don't like him for what he's done. To thank you, he dash said Katie Price. But yeah, he's a good player, you know. I think he's a fan favorite still, regardless of what happened. And who else that we didn't even mention, bro? I did mention Cantona. I would also say, obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo is a fan favorite. I wouldn't put him as a club icon, you know. But even though you can, depends on you guys, because some people consider Ronaldo as a legend of this club based on his career, his early stage of his career, and towards the end of his career. We'll see. Ollie deserves one before Teddy, but yeah, neither deserve one. Yeah, I would say Ollie probably deserves more, it be more than Teddy sharing him. I would say that, but still nowhere near a legend of this club. I just think the word legend is given to people too easily, man. In my opinion, you get me. People love using it, even if you used to play for the club. I know he's a club legend. He's a club legend. Someone like John O'Shea, yeah, fantastic player, but not a club legend. You know, Michael Carrick. No one's going to say Carrick's a club legend, but we know how great Carrick was.
Yeah. I wouldn't put Carrick in a legendary style. I'd put him in fan favorite, but again, it's all on the criteria. Hey, you lot, we're going to close out shortly. Question to Flawless: why are you so not keen on having Kane at United? Chat Sport, rewind. I went through it. Rewind, because obviously he just got here. Rewind, but in regards to he's never delivered for Spurs. So why? So I have my reservations about him delivering for Manchester United. And when I say deliver, win Spurs a trophy, because you're good enough. If you're world class, I'm holding you to world class standards. I expect world class performers to help their teams win trophies, and he's been there long enough. So I'm not hearing. And like I've stated before, if Spurs win a trophy, they win a trophy next season, any trophy. I'm not even talking the major ones. I'm saying a Conference League. He would receive the majority of the praise, and rightfully so. We watch players nowhere near his level help his team help their teams win trophies. So therefore, I'm going to use that against, not even use that against him. I'm going to bring that up. West Ham are currently in the semi-final of a Conference League. Don't let them win that competition. Don't let Mikel Antonio win a European trophy in London before Harry Kane. With Moisey in charge, with a team that's battling relegation.
And they might not even be in the league. They might not even win the league, but still win the Europa Conference
It's not a good side. That's why I'm not hearing no excuses about players around you. Because Spurs have a better side than West Ham. I'm not talking just about the Spurs side just now. I'm talking about previous ones as well. Previous ones, Chat Sport. So, yeah. Bless up Chat Sport every single time. Right, let's see. I think that's pretty much it. Anyway, I think we've closed out. Boney Taylor says, big up Flawless. I'm not old to this channel, but whenever you two collab, it's a great show. Hey, man, much appreciated, man. Obviously, you can catch Ivorian on his channel. The link's in the title, people, at Red United TV. So make sure you check out his content. Ivorian, anything else you want to add before we close out?
Big up to everyone, man. I know one of the guys in the chat said something about Oli, about Lampard because of his shit managerial career. Lampard will be forever a Chelsea legend because them guys don't really have that much history, bro. They actually started from 2003 when they got taken over. So with us, our history goes deep. But again, like I said before, Oli's managerial career kind of tainted, just like the way Ronaldo's ending towards his career at Manchester United tainted his status as the club icon. You know, it's the same way with me with Oli, man. As a manager, shit. As a player, great. I rate Oli the manager. I rate Oli the player. I just don't rate Oli the manager. You know, he could be a super sub. He done well. He made us happy. But yeah, man, big up to everyone. Remember, as always, subscribe to this channel and subscribe to Red United TV. Follow me on all social media platforms as well. Ivorian_Spice for Twitter and Instagram. And then follow Red United TV Instagram account, which is Red United TV 1. as well, man. As always, we're back next week, and I can't wait because, of course, by next week we will know exactly where we're sitting at in the league, whether we'll be finishing third or fourth. Big game.
Oh yeah, huge game, absolute huge game, without doubt, fam. You are spot on. And again, mental gymnastics for Dil says Spurs forfeited the Conference League last season. Though, go look at their record before they forfeited. That's what I've got up right now. When they go look at the group they was in and the games they lost. There was no guarantee they get through, and even outside of the Conference League, go look at this season. I keep saying this. They went out to Sheffield United. They went out to Nottingham Forest. The season before, they went out to Middlesbrough. And who did they lose to in let me check. I think it was Chelsea. Well, yeah, here the three of the 4 teams they've gone out to. What are we doing? Out here losing tomorrow. Did he play? Yeah, he played because he scored in the 72nd minute. And then he conceded a late goal. You're playing more, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, his teams around him is not good enough. Mental gymnastics, people. No way did he play in this game. I can't even get the lineup. But yeah, we move. Like I say, mental gymnastics. If United win the league with the season with the same squad, who will get the majority of the praise? Rashford. That's a good question. No, probably Casemiro, because he's deemed our best player. So Casemiro. If United win the league this season, yes, Casemiro would have got the majority of the praise because he's deemed our best player. When we win the Carabao Cup, not all the conversation, the majority of the talk was about Casemiro's impact and him being a winner and what he's done and how he's changed it around. So no, it wouldn't be Rashford, it'd be Casemiro. And this proves my point, United for life, in regards to when the team wins, the best player will receive the majority of the praise. Other players will get it. Martinez would have got praise. Varane would have got praise. Of course, Rashford would. Of course, Eriksen would have. But go back and check. Bruno in the mix, he would get praise as well. Anthony obviously would have for being 90 M's and helping United win the league. But the majority of the praise would have went to Casemiro. This is why he's a winner. This is what he brought from Real Madrid. This is why he has 4 Champions Leagues, all that conversation. You've been here, United for life. We've had these conversations. Not me and you in particular, but me, you, and the chat have all spoken on this and Casemiro's impact. So, yeah. Again, people, mental gymnastics to defend Kane, failing every time he's been in a situation at Spurs. Rather than just say, Flawless is right, he's failed. Which he has. It's all, what about this? Again, whataboutism. It's always whataboutism when people can't poke holes in the argument and defend the actual player. It's happened with Harry Kane. It's happened with Bruno when we've spoken about him. Oh, what about Bruno? It happened with Oli when he was in charge. Who's a better manager? No, let's talk about him. Yes, Rashford with all the goals. I genuinely believe that Casemiro would receive the majority of the praise. Rashford scored a lot of the goals in regards to, you said the majority. I said no. No. Because he's not the best player. The point I'm making is it's the best player who receives the majority of the praise. It's not a team thing, United for life. The best player receives the majority of the praise when the team wins. The best player. When United won the Champions League in 2008, who got the majority of the praise? Who was Ballon d'Or winner? Cristiano Ronaldo. Because he was the best player. But Tevez got his plaudits, Rooney got his plaudits, Carrick Scholes got their plaudits, Vidic and Rio got their plaudits. But you just missing the point. So it's not a team thing. Your guy's just not that good. That's what it is. And that's why he's won nothing. Yes, EZ. Of course, man. Casemiro gets praised for transforming our midfield and therefore our team. Exactly. Everybody knows that. So this whole, it's a team game. No, your guy's just not delivered. He's failed. That's why he's getting bounced out of trophies by Sheffield United and Nottingham Forest and Middlesbrough and NS Mora. And yes, he said, well, Casemiro didn't play against Arsenal. But yeah, people spoke about, because he was suspended, people spoke about him not being there. But would Rashford get praise? Yes. Kane wins the Premier League for Tottenham. He's getting the majority of the praise. That's a fact. So ain't no team thing. But again, this is something you don't want to admit because your guy's just not that good.
But I don't know. That's everywhere in sport. Any team that wins trophies, their best player gets praised. If LA Lakers win the NBA championship,
who gets the majority of praise?
LeBron. Even though there's Anthony Davis, but to me, LeBron. You look at Warriors, Steph Curry.
Yes,
all the time.
But the Warriors also have Clay who gets praised, and they have Draymond who gets praised.
Exactly.
All of them. But
so yeah.
It's just suspension to ease at first. But again, people, now we want to change how it works. We know how it works. I'm saying Kane scored all them goals and Spurs are in 6. Scored all them goals and it means Jack. It's contributed to absolutely nothing for Spurs. Don't give me that. I'm tired of that. We had that with Van Nistelrooy. You actually won a Premier League and the FA Cup. It wasn't great for the team. We still managed to win a couple of trophies with him. And then we sold him and we three-peated and won a champs. Same way when Liverpool, you know what I'm saying? When Liverpool win, who gets the majority of the praise?
Oh, Gerrard. Remember the Champions League final?
Gerrard. But I'm saying right now, that was Gerrard.
No, but I just want to just demonstrate, come of the hour, come of the man. You know, great players and take it to a team and rise up in occasions. And Kane doesn't rise up in those occasions. You saw Gerrard for Liverpool, who Liverpool were 3-0 down. Dragged that team to win it on penalty shootouts, bro. That was the man. Am I lying? Who was that guy that did it for Liverpool against Milan? 3-0 down. Gerrard.
Facts. And the thing is, it's not like he didn't have good. It's like he didn't have good players around him, but he'll receive the majority of the praise for that because he was classed as their best player.
And you can easily say that they're probably at the same level as Spurs. This Spurs team now, who can't really finish in the top 4, that Liverpool team was struggling in the league, not being able to challenge. Liverpool didn't challenge for the league.
Yeah.
They challenged for cups.
Yeah,
similar to Spurs. They don't challenge. They don't do just cups. They're a cup team at best if they can win it. But apart from that, their best player turned up.
Because it's Gerrard. A safety net to Ed, who says it's funny how no one in the media is talking on Kane. Literally every player, even guys like Spence, who barely played, caught more heat. Exactly because there's excuses for this guy. There's hella excuses. Hella excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. I ain't giving excuses to no world-class player. Win me a Carabao Cup. I watch Wigan do it. You can do it. I'm saying I watch Southampton, who are about to get relegated, reach a semi-final this season. You failed to do that. You got bounced by the team. Wait, they got bounced by Forest, who we played in the semi-final.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, what aboutism, people? And that's going to rumble on during the summer. And if we sign him, prove me wrong. And if we win something with him, I'll show up and go, you know what? I admit I was wrong. I have my doubts. Yeah. I have my reservations about him delivering for us because I've not seen him deliver yet. Scored all these goals and it's meant nothing. But anyway, we're going to close out because we're be proven wrong. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I want to be proven wrong. I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right. Yeah. Kane never gets criticized, even the pen. Like, what are we doing? Yes, Dortmund, David. The list goes on. Bayern won a treble. They won in a cold team. Who received the majority of the praise? Lewandowski, because he's their best player. It don't mean they don't have other ballers in the side.
Yeah.
Well, now the rules change for Kane because he's not won nothing. Like I say, man, hella mental gymnastics rather than just say, you know what, that man's not delivered. Same way with Bruno Fernandes, not delivered. But hey, we move, people. We move. Love to everyone that's locked in. We're back at midnight, people. Actually, no, we're back on the Twitch. 7:45 p.m. for the Arsenal-Chelsea game, people. That's live on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. Arsenal-Chelsea, watch along. You know that's going to be good. Then we're back on the YouTube. Yeah, go on. Yeah, tonight, fam.
Today.
Arsenal-Chelsea. Yeah,
bro, where have I been in this world, bro? I didn't know that they were playing today.
You didn't? You know what? That's how much you disrespect Arsenal and Chelsea. That you just like Arsenal are the title and Chelsea is shocking. Yeah. That's how much.
Chelsea are relegating fights.
Yeah. So yeah, Chelsea, what's it called? So Arsenal, Chelsea, 7:45 p.m. YouTube, Twitch. We'll start that live stream. Then we're back here at midnight. Obviously, the show will redirect to that. The Manchester United Liverpool show. So myself and Saint talking all things United, all things Liverpool. Obviously in Liverpool in good form, won the 4 games in a row, trying to make a late charge for top 4. And then we're back. Speaking of basketball, we mentioned that 3 a.m. on the Twitch, people, for game 1 of the series. I'm looking forward to the most. Warriors versus the Lakers. Whoo! It's going to be fire, man. Warriors versus the Lakers, people. Lakers game 1. Golden State Warriors versus the Los Angeles Lakers. That's 3 a.m. All of these things I mentioned are on the upcoming live stream schedule anyway, people. all of them. But yeah, man, just love to everyone that's locked in. Please continue to support. Hit the like button, subscribe. Big up to everyone who's listening on the audio platform. And we hit the subscriber mark as well, just before we closed out. And on top of that, I know it's a lot of information, but we got to continue to promo because we're nowhere near the levels we want to be, even though we've grown, you know what I'm saying, expeditiously. Ivorian's channel, Red United TV, links in the title. Ivorian again, let them know what they get on your channel and what you got coming up. We're going to plug it again.
Again, let's do this again. You get match reactions, you get watch-alongs, you get a weekly podcast as well. And of course, you get your boy Ivorian Spice. You get me? You love the bants, you love the jokes. That's what you get from Ivorian Spice. You just enjoy the bants and jokes, man. And as always, subscribe to the channel, subscribe here as well, subscribe to Red United TV, and follow us all on the social media platforms. You get me? Get me?
100%. Hey, just love to everyone who continues to show love. Whether we agree or disagree, it's always respectful, and I appreciate you lot for that. I don't think anybody got blocked today, so yeah, big up.
No.
Oh wait, did they? No, I don't think anyone did. Stephanie G says, keep up the great content, lads. Big up. I appreciate that, Stephanie. And yeah, man, large up to everyone who has locked in, and just please continue to support. It's much appreciated. And see you lot, like I said, on the Twitch for the Arsenal-Chelsea watch-along. And then obviously this show is going to redirect to the United Liverpool show. All I need you lot to do is hit the like button on that video and then close it off. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell on the video, and we'll be live at midnight over there. But this has been the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up for tuning in.